So here we go, guys. This is what I've been talking about. We got this guy who was a huge addition for the Rangers in '94 Stanley Cup. This guy played amazing for them. And if you guys don't know Mike Richter, I'm going to show you a video of who Mike Richter was and his great saves he made for the New York Rangers and actually helped them to win the Stanley Cup. Without him, they wouldn't have won the Stanley Cup. Him and the captain, some other players, but mostly Mike Richter. Now, I'm going to get to this video, and this video is all about Mike Richter, 5'11", 185 pounds, from the United States, plays on the Rangers, and he's an icon, legend. Most guys aren't using these guys goalies. And you're like, yeah, they are. No, they're not. No one's using this goalie. They're using guys like bigger goalies that I'll show you in 2 seconds. So goalies like that are small, I'm going to show you right here for leaderboards. I'm just going to top 100. Not the best players in the game. Go this guy. Check this guy's team out. And we'll see who he's using for goalies. There you go. This guy right here. He's not even playing in the NHL. And look at his stats. Not very good. I'm like, well, what does that mean? Well, look, he's 6'7", 222 pounds, and he's a big goalie. Now, I hope that God EA starts using their head that you shouldn't have to use a guy 6'7". You should use any goalie if your goalie's got really good attributes. Like you look at Richter's stats and this guy's stats. Who's got better stats? Mike Richter does. Take a look. It's not hard to figure it out. Another guy, goalies that people tend to use is look at this guy. See what he's using. Guarantee he's using big goalies. But more or less, guys are using big goalies like this. Now, I'm not saying that Robin Leonard is not a good goalie. I'm not saying that at all. He's a great goalie. But his stats don't justify that, a guy like Mike Richter has better attributes, and he should be a better goalie than Robin. Now, if you got a top end card of Robin Leonard 99, all good, okay, yeah, no problem. But not when you got a guy his height. I get it. He's a good goalie in the NHL right now, but like his stats aren't that great. Let's go to another guy. Let's go to this guy. Not sure who this guy is, but I don't know why it's such a big thing about using small goalies. Another thing, guys, 6'3". Stuff like this where if you've got some pretty good stats, you should be able to use them. Don't be afraid to use guys. And with this guy, it must be a Devils fan. That's why he's using it. So if you're a big fan of your Devils fan players, you should be able to use these guys and not be afraid. Like, oh well, if they're not big, they're not going to do well, right? I'm a true believer that if a guy has better stats, then you should be using base card. Whoever's got the best base card, you should be using those goalies to start, not the big goal. Well, this guy's got a pretty good stat team. Here's another goalie. Now, I agree with this. He's a 99. 99 all the way down. Jacob Markstrom is one of my favorite goalies. Not because he's a big goalie, because I was a huge fan when he played in the Florida Panthers, but never really got an opportunity to go now. He played really good. Say top 10 goalies right now play. Right? Markstrom. Here's another goalie that I think is pretty good. And we'll go right over here for the collection so we just get it done quicker. Event. Right here. Pulaski, I was a big fan of him too. This is play style. He works really hard, plays hard. We have a top 10 card yet. Here we go. So, if you have an NL or card like that, then he should be pretty good. I get that. I'm not disagreeing on this part. What I'm talking about is small goalies. Like, this guy's gonna be a pretty good goalie, probably. Like, I think he's one of the best in the league, next to Carey Price. But it's goalies like this where what's not, let's see, small goalie for Calgary. Back in the day, this guy was actually one of the best goalies in the 80s. We can find him. I'll have to go to the market and we'll go to the market and try to find him. But I just think that we shouldn't be shying away from small goalies. If their overalls are really good, their attributes are really good, then we should be using them. Don't be shying away from their goalies because they have a small goalie, not good, right? Here's a guy right here, 20 bar, 5'11". When the first game comes out, this goalie should be pretty good. If they have these legend cards out, can't speak. The hot icons, if they have these out again, if he's in the game in the beginning, then he should be used. Same with this goalie. Now, this is a top end card. This is the best card he's going to be, right? Billy Smith. Billy Smith was one of the better goalies in the league, right? I'm just saying that we tend to go to the tallest goalie and not go to these goalies. You know, if we want these cards to last longer in the game, we gotta make sure that they can actually play to their ability. You know what I mean? And this goalie, he's one of the better goalies of all time. And when you use him, he's absolute garbage. And I've heard a lot of people say that using this card, right? The top end card, right? I'm talking the guy right here. Using this card, he's garbage. He's not good. You look at most of the top guys, they're not using him, man. And I just don't understand. If the guy's like 1099, he should be really good. He should be hard to score on. But, lo and behold, again, that's in a lot of weak goals. People don't want to get it in, and they think he's a small goalie. Again, he's a small goalie, but he should be able to use that goalie. Why is it that we go to goalies like this? This guy right here. We're using guys like this. I have his card, but I don't understand why we're going to this guy all the time. And I get it, because he sucks up more than the other ones, but if EA is going to build a game, make the goalies, when they first start out, make the goalies basic cards, make the goalies, you know, the best overall goalie in the game. I believe it was Carey Price, right? If I'm not mistaken, Carey Price was the best goalie in the game. Next to Velasquez. Those two that should be the top two goalies you should be using, right? And Braden Holtby should be the next one, right? And we should be using those at the beginning. Because if you're just starting to thing out, and then he should be like maybe 2 or 3 or 4, right? Because Roski's top goalie too, and you should be using him too. But no, we don't go. We go goalies like and then another guy played really good last year. We should be using him, right? We go to goalies like this. Like, I'm not saying Devin Dubnik's not a bad goalie, but like, why are we using him over this guy, right? This guy's got better stats than this guy. We should be using this guy. But no, it doesn't matter. It's all about height. It shouldn't be all about height. Goalie. This guy was back in the early 2000s. He was a top goalie. How many people were using him? Another case. People use Bishop NHL game because he was a cheat code. I get that, but he isn't the number one goalie in the game. The guy is playing out real amazing right now in the playoffs. Like one of the best goalies in my opinion. This guy right here, Antoine Robin. This guy's amazing in the playoffs, and I hope to God they make him look good for NHL 21. You know, make it where if the guy is playing really good at the beginning, he can go up and down like MLB did, where the guy would go up. If he's doing really well, he'd go up in attributes, and if he was doing really bad, then he'd go down. Because everyone's gonna have a hot and cold year. Like who would have thought that Dallas Stars were going to Stanley Cup against the Islanders and Tampa? Now, we all predicted maybe Tampa's going to the finals. Who would have thought the Islanders were going to go? I knew they had a good structured team, but no one really thought of that. The Dallas? This guy? Bishop was supposed to be the number one goalie. This guy took over, and he's playing amazing. I just don't understand why, you know, and then in this goalie, this guy's playing amazing too. Now he's a little taller, 6'2", but he's playing really good too. But none of these guys get any looks because we always tend to look for guys that are really big. Like, I'll give you an example. Darcy Kemper. Like, you say, well, his overall 79, man. Makes no sense. Okay, well, let's go to um, hopefully there's some out here. There is nobody. He has a card out there that's really good. But if you know that he played really good in the first round, I'm not sure why they're not showing any cards. I mean, maybe someone's got his cards, whatever. But he played amazing, right? And a lot of people would use his card. So, only fact, I want to have some of these guys that are like 5'11" or whatever how tall they are, the goalies. We should be able to use them, right, at the beginning of the year. No, we go for the tall goalies because no, right? Like I picked a 79 overall goalie, MARKSTROM, and he was beating goalies, guys that had top end goalies like Carey Price, icon goalies, and he was beating them. Now his card wasn't that very good, but his most to do with his height, making those adjustment saves and stuff. Now, if your stats are not good, you should not be stopping the puck. If you are a 71 overall goalie, you shouldn't be stopping shit, bro. Versus an 87. That's what I'm trying to say. It makes these top end cards worth more. Because if we're just going to use low end budget cards, goalies, what is the point of having all these other cards? They're going to be worth nothing. Carey Price and Holtby and some of the other guys, right? I know that some people will disagree with me, but I honestly think that we need to make some changes for the goalies for HUT and actually make them all about their attributes. If their attributes are good, then it should be a good goalie, regardless of their height. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. I honestly think that they gotta make that change because it's gonna keep cards like Carey Price and all these other ones worth a little bit more, like the Sidney Crosby cards. Why aren't goalies looked at that? Like they're good cards. It's all about based on the height. Everybody goes for the height of the goalie. Anyways,